If you've tried everything to lose weight and get rid of your excess body fat, but your efforts produce minimal or no results, you could be slowly killing your metabolism with one or more of the metabolic killers I'm talking about in today's video. From eating too many carbs, too little carbs, the wrong kinds of fats, the wrong exercise, your habits could be destroying your precious fat burning metabolism. In today's video, I'm uncovering the 8 metabolism killers that are not only destroying your metabolism, but keeping you overweight. I know the image says 5, but as I was strategizing preparing for this video, I came up with 8 and I'm here to over deliver for you. So let's get right into it. The 8 metabolism killers keeping you overweight and unhealthy. Number 1, high carb breakfast. You've been told over and over again that people who eat a morning meal tend to have smaller waistlines, but some find that eating breakfast actually makes them hungrier. If you can relate, it may be that the healthy breakfast you're eating, such as cereal, bagel, and fruit, contains way too many carbs. Think about it this way. You've basically been fasting all night while you've been asleep, so your blood sugar is really low. Not bad low, just low like it should be upon waking up in the morning. Flooding your body with tons of sugar and carbs is the worst way to start your day. When you have a sluggish metabolism, it's often a sign that you have some form of insulin resistance. Your body is having a hard time moving sugar from your bloodstream into your cells for fuel. And when that doesn't work right, you feel hungry even when you're physically not. This is especially noticeable after you wake up. In the morning, insulin levels are high, eat a high carb meal, and insulin rises even more. Then nosedives really quickly, leaving you ravenous by noon and snacking unnecessarily between breakfast and lunch. Number 2, low protein lunch. All day your body is going through a process called protein turnover, basically breaking down its own muscle tissues. Totally normal, but many women don't eat enough protein, which contains amino acids, the main food for muscles. To counteract this effect and properly maintain lean mass, not good, since the more muscle you have, the more calories you burn no matter what you're doing. Protein is essential for tissue repair and muscle building. If your protein is too low, your muscles can begin to deteriorate. Inadequate protein leads to cravings, brain fog, poor skin and hair health, muscle loss, weakness, and fatigue. Here's the worst case scenario I see all too often. High carb breakfast, sugary coffee drink, low protein lunch, sugary coffee drink, and high fat dinner. This eating day is typical for many women, and this leads to chronically low protein levels and eventually a sluggish, damaged metabolism. Number 3, skipping meals. This metabolism killer is probably the most common in our society because of, you guessed it, diets. When you go on calorie restrictive diets, your body goes into survival mode, saving energy by lowering your body temperature, reducing your pulse, and slowing down your thyroid function. All things that cause eventual weight gain and make it hard to lose weight. Typical signs you can't lose weight because you're not eating enough are feeling stressed out all the time, food cravings, cold hands and feet below the 98.6 body temperature, low energy, and of course, really stubborn fat. Remember, every day you eat fewer calories than you should, your fat cells actually become stronger and smarter and healthier and less susceptible to being released and burned off. I feel the need to elaborate on the specific consequence of a pass full of low fat, low sugar, and skipping meals, a severely slow metabolism, because you've been led to believe the only way to lose weight is to be in a calorie deficit. Most women start dieting, then slash their calories, then add a large amount of exercise to their daily routine. All of a sudden, you have an extreme calorie deficit that is working against you. This actually leads to slow thyroid production, T3, decrease in muscle mass, your metabolically active tissue that's burning that fat floating around your body. Increase in stress hormone, excess cortisol leads to more and stubborn fat, and it makes it harder to lose weight. And an overall decrease in energy levels, which leads to too tired to cook, too tired to exercise, etc., etc. While the symptoms of a damaged metabolism are obvious to you since you're experiencing them daily, this reason for lack of weight loss probably hasn't even crossed your mind. It's a tough pill to swallow to accept that your dieting past has negatively affected your healthy present and future weight loss. While it may be very difficult to recover from a past full of yo-yo dieting, it's not impossible and you can do it. It starts with acceptance and eating real food. Number 4, high stress exercise. Wait a minute, I thought all exercise was, well, good for you. Maybe 200 years ago, when we didn't lead such stressful lives without any other psychological, physiological, and mental worries. The fact is, we are overstressed, and that means our stress hormones are elevated way more than they should be. High stress exercise that burdens the adrenal glands, like steady state cardio, dance step classes, overdoing HIIT workouts, CrossFit, and others, can actually have a negative effect on your metabolism. The culprit? Cortisol. Our stress hormone is oversecreted from constant stressors. Undereating, overeating, overexercise, underexercising, mental, emotional stress, and the list goes on and on, all cause cortisol dysregulation. Excess cortisol breaks down muscle tissue, or I like to call it metabolically active tissue, and eventually causes adrenal fatigue, making it very difficult for you to lose weight. Number 5, low-carb diets. It's not carbs making you fat, it's the type of carbs and the timing of the carbs that are contributing to your weight gain. I bet you didn't know that our body's primary fuel source is glucose, and the very definition of glucose is sugar. The fact of the matter is that starch and sugar are essential sources of energy for us human beings. A low-carb diet works extremely well for those with insulin resistance because it quickly lowers basal insulin levels and blood glucose in those with metabolic syndrome. It also requires less first and second stage insulin release, which allows the body's metabolism to function more normally. Typical low-carb meal replacement bars and shakes, ice creams or ice cream sandwiches, and other low-carb or sugar-free snacks often contain potentially unhealthy ingredients and are full of preservatives and highly processed ingredients. If your low-carbohydrate diet involves boxed, wrapped, and packaged food, it probably falls into this category. There can be long-term health issues as your body is chronically carbohydrate depleted over extended periods of time. Your liver is exposed to extra stress as it's forced to assist with manufacturing glucose from fats and proteins. And as I've said in previous videos, you do not want to overstress your liver. That's where the majority of your T4 to T3 thyroid hormone is produced. And if you interfere with that interaction, then you're going to cause problems to your metabolism. Number 6, high inflammatory fat and low anti-inflammatory fat eating. We followed the expert advice to lower your fat intake, thinking we'd get healthier, leaner, and slow aging. Almost 3/4 of Americans are still trying to lose weight, but few succeed. 6, high inflammatory fat and low anti-inflammatory fat consumption. We followed the expert advice to lower fat intake, thinking we'd get healthier, leaner, and slow aging. Heart disease is still the #1 killer in the USA. Almost 3/4 of Americans are trying to lose weight, but few succeed. Rates of diabetes, Alzheimer's, metabolic syndrome, and obesity are on the rise and don't seem to be improving. It's time for not only a diet overhaul, but specifically an overhaul of the types of fats we eat. Certain fats are nature's weight loss solution to your excess weight problem, believe it or not. Behind this hard to believe truth are some pretty hard to understand specific truths. But don't worry, I'm going to break down exactly what you need to know about fats. The types of fats you've probably been avoiding are the same fats that can alter your hormone balance, helping you feel more energetic and less hungry, all the while helping you burn more calories and get rid of that stubborn fat. The fats I share in my programs will lower your levels of inflammation, which, as you know, offer many health and fat loss benefits. Fats like coconut oil, olive oil, and avocado. The fats that you need to avoid are the ones that are polyunsaturated in nature. Vegetable oils like canola, soybean, peanut, the list goes on and on. If the oil is not monounsaturated or saturated, try to stay away from it as much as possible. Finally, we have 2 more. Improper meal balance. Learning how to properly balance your main macronutrients, carbs, proteins, and fats, can be the difference between your meals being fat-burning meals or fat-storing meals. I have a very simple formula for balancing your meals. I'll share with you shortly. But first, I'd like to briefly go over why improper meal balancing is destroying your metabolism. Unfortunately, most people are eating ratios that spike insulin, raise cortisol, overload your digestive systems, and ultimately slow down your thyroids, making it very difficult to lose weight. Here are a few examples of fat-storing improperly balanced meals. For breakfast, toast, bagels, cereal, smoothies, juices, and breakfast sandwiches. Lunches, sandwiches, subs, salads, wraps, burgers, and fries. Dinners, Pasta dishes, potatoes, sweet potatoes, all without protein. And snacks, sweetened coffee drinks, fruit, bars. The scariest and most troublesome thing about these metabolism killing meals is that many people would argue the meals that I just listed are healthy. Nothing could be further from the truth. Macronutrient ratios can get pretty complicated, and complicated formulas can lead to paralysis by analysis, which leads to no action, which always leads to no weight loss results. I like to simplify everything in life, business, and eating, which is why the formula for the ideal meal is 33% of all three. 33% fat, 33% carbs, and 33% protein. I'll let you deal with the other 1%. Balancing your meals is a very important concept in healthy eating that is often ignored since it's hard enough to just eat healthy. But you can eat healthy and balance your meals at least 80% of the time. If you can do that, then you're going to propel your weight loss results. You'll be regulating your hormones, balancing your blood sugar and insulin levels, and boosting your metabolism so it's working for you all day long. And finally, metabolism killer number 8, probably the worst one. If you just did this one, I think you would see amazing results. Eating inflammatory foods. When we decide to start losing weight, inflammation is rarely the first thing that pops into our heads. Our thinking immediately goes to, I need to eat less, watch my calories, start eating low fat, low carb, etc., etc. I need to give up Cokes, fast food, and candy. I need to start exercising, doing cardio, get a gym membership, etc. Diets, fat burning pills, weight loss supplements, etc., etc. Unfortunately, 95% of these things you think you need to do to lose weight ends up leaving you worse than when you started. 95% of the healthy things you start doing to lose fat are actually killing your metabolism, which means you were suffering from inflammation before, and these weight loss tricks left you with more inflammation and more weight gain and harder to lose fat. The fastest way to reduce inflammation, aside from eating whole, unprocessed foods, is avoid the foods that got you into this inflammatory mess in the first place. The 8 inflammatory foods to avoid include gluten, soy, high fructose corn syrup, sugar, and unsaturated vegetable oils. These foods and others contribute to the majority of the inflammation in our society, especially inflammation that leads to stubborn fat. Each one of these 8 metabolism killers that I went over in today's video negatively impacts your metabolism in one form or another. And they are all related to the main organs and systems in the body that help you burn fat, like the liver, the thyroid, muscle or metabolically active tissue, and then your whole body as a whole. It's time to figure out with a metabolism-focused approach to fat loss. Thanks for watching this video. As a thank you gift for watching, if you look at the first comment, you can download my 24-hour metabolism reset. I'm also throwing in 4 weeks of healthy fat loss meal plans and my 10 favorite hormone balancing drinks. Start avoiding these metabolism killers today, and I promise you that you will start seeing effortless weight loss and upgrading your health. Thanks again. Hit that like button. Of course, subscribe to my channel for more tips.